Okay, hey, how are you? And today I'm going to take you through the video on how to sketch the what we call in the Geneva gear, which is something that we're going to work on, or Geneva dry, something we're going to work on in the prac session. That should be for the week 5, but if you're going to make it ready by tomorrow, we're going to work on it tomorrow. And this will buy you time. Actually, we're going to do some like 1.5 work every week. Then we're going to have more time to do your work for the project through the 8 practical session we're going to run this semester. So you can see the part here. We're going to start. Actually, it consists of 3 parts. We're going to work with the wheel, and then we're going to go with junior driving, and then we're going to do the base. The base is very easy because we're going to have just the 2 holes that are going to have the 2 diameters, and you can see that these diameters are mainly going to be related to your student ID. This 4 millimeters, 4 millimeter. Okay, so this should be very easy, but the dimensions should be including the value for the Q, which is, as you know, it's one of the parameters that you are going to have for your student number. Q is the last 2 digits of your student ID. And the student radius of all the fillets is going to be 0.5 millimeters. And third, all the dimensions are going to be in millimeters. Just to give you a hint about that, actually, this is something like what they use for the timing. Like, for example, what we have inside the watches, and that's why they call the Geneva wheel. You can see that there's a video online about the Geneva wheel SolidWorks tutorial on how to sketch this one. And we're going to go through this one later on how to make the link between the 2 parts and then make it to actually operate the same way as that. It's going to make it run now. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so it's going to work like now, like that. We're going to add a motor to this part, and this will make the counting, or actually timing, for the other gear. So after that, we're going to take some results, and this should be something that we need to learn during the tomorrow session. Okay, and where is that? Well, the content. If I'm going to go to the material for this topic, okay, week 4 material for the practice session, and that's what we're going to work on basically tomorrow. You can see that we have the practical instruction and we have the attachment for the particles, where most of the CAD models are made for you, and we're only going to apply some of the works, and that's what we can find as an instruction in here, like the SolidWorks motion analysis tutorial basics, how to add the motor, and how to, well, actually I can open this one for you. The basics on how we can do the SolidWorks motion analysis. That's what we're going to download. We're going to do the animation just without the study first. And we are going to do the exercise number 1 for the 4-bar mechanism. Okay, so you can see that the work is going to be started very easy. We're going to open the things, do the mating, do the orientation of the camera view. We're going to select this point to add the motor at. We're going to decide what will be the RPM value. Okay, do more option, do the work, and then we're going to do the animation, the basic motions, and the motion analysis, and we can simplify that. So mainly going to do the motion analysis, and we're going to give us this panel, and to make it run, we're going to have these drawings, and mainly this will be the drawing you need to find, copy and paste in your report, and that's what we're going to do for the first few weeks. Okay, so that's for the starting and ending of the result plot. That's if we're going to add the result at this point. It's going to give me actually what will be the movement for this one, like the path of this point. You can see that we can sketch the path of every point just to see the movement of this mechanism. Now, once again, that's a cam movement, or the mechanism movement, and this is what we going to need, for example, to make certain mechanism application for our work. The second exercise is going to be about a sliding crank mechanism. Usually it's going to be locked until, again, to do some work about the basic motion. It's going to actually give us some problem, and then we're going to do work on that, because the number of the links is going to be more than degree of freedom is going to be negative. So we need to do some changing in the mates and run it, and it's going to be run after that. Okay, so we are going to learn about this one tomorrow in the class. Once again, the CAD models for those are already available, but we're going to work on this one right now. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take that to the SolidWorks. Okay, so I'm going to make a new part in the SolidWorks, and I'm going to start to do the sketching for the parts one by one. Okay, so away from that, you'll maybe again to follow up the same steps. I'm going to do it. First, we have to do the parts individually. Then we're going to do the assembly. Well, I know my computer is quite slow, so this will be part number one, and I get to save this one directly. I already prepared my folder, and I call it. Well, actually, I'm using the UTS account. For you, I'm going to use another one. So I'm going to make another folder within folder. I cannot do that. So this will be the wheel first. Okay, so the wheel part. Now, once again, just to see the dimensions of the thing. Okay, just give you 1 second. I'll bring you back this one here. Okay, so we're talking about the wheel is going to be that part. So you can see here that we're going to make a circle, then we're going to start to remove part of it. That way we can actually just make one, then we're going to able to make the whole thing by doing the pattern. Okay, the other side, well, actually I'm going to make the plate first, then I'm going to worry about the other dimensions like these two nuts, which are going to be fixed on the plate, and it's going to be as high as high to a certain level, so I'm going to have a contact with this part. This one is going to be attached to the plate, and this one is going to be a little bit higher with 3 millimeters, as you can see here, is going to be more than the thickness of that part, so it's going to be 1 millimeter higher. So that's what we're going to work on to make this assembly. Okay, so you can see that the dimension also going to have your Q value. For me, I'm going to use my Q value to be equal to 0 and work based on that. Okay, so again, you can see the radius of this one is 10 millimeters, and the radius here is given as the R2 plus 0.5 multiplied by Q. Sorry, it's 2 plus 0.5 multiplied by Q. So even if your Q is going to be AQ is going to be 50, so this will make it as 0.5 multiplied by 0.5, and this will make it 0.25. So just an example for the calculation of that part. However, again, to start to do sketching, let's start to do the work, and let's actually again to buy too much time. Remember that what we're doing here is supposed to be for the week 5, and we're going to have a look later for the week 6 material. Okay, so I'm going to start the sketch, mainly again to work on the top plane, because we're going to see the things from the top. And we're going to start with first making a circle, well, a disc that have a diameter of, saying here, once again, let's go back. Saying here that the diameter of that part from here to here, which is the distance here, is going to be something like 28.867. Oh, that's a very critical dimension. Well, yeah, well, if it's say 28.867, I'm going to make it as the same dimension. I'm going to change anything here. Well, I know it's doesn't look very good, but let's do it as it is. Okay, it's too small. 28. Wait a second. Let me. Oh, that's 70. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, this should be acceptable dimension. Okay. So yes, as I told you earlier, they're going to make a sketch of a circle. And this one's going to have the radius of 28.867. So 28.867 5 millimeters. You can see that I'm typing here, and this will make the radius of the part I would like to have. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this part a thickness of 2 millimeters, because it say that the thickness is 2 millimeters, so give the thickness here as 2 millimeters. Okay, now we've done. Now, by the way, I can do the pattern from the beginning, but I will do the pattern later. Okay, so now I'm going to keep sketching. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the channel first. Okay, so what I'm talking about is I'm going to make this channel here, this one. So you can see that for this channel, we're going to have that the gap is 4 plus Q. So once again, if your Q is 99, this will be 4.99. If your Q is 0.5 or 50, so this will be 4.5 and so on. The same thing here for the radius. Of course, the radius is going to be the same, so I don't have to worry about that because I'm going to make it as a fillet. Now, the distance from the center to this one is going to be equal to 11 millimeters. So that's mean if the diameter, the radius is 28.8675, I'm going to sketch a line from here to here, which is 11 millimeters, and then I'm going to make a square shape. Then I'm going to give it a fillet shape later. Okay, so we're going to work on that. You can see it's to the line, so it shouldn't be an issue. Again, I'm going to work on that. Click on that face, then I'm going to make a sketch, and then I'm going to make, oh, wait a second. Before that, let me do this one. Yep. Okay, so, yep, I'm going to sketch now on that face, and I'm going to make a line that is 11 millimeter in length. That's 11. Okay, now with this 11, and now I'm going to start to make my square shape. Then I'm going to cut the things off, and then I'm going to make a fillet for it. So let's start to do that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do the square. Yeah, let me do the square. This will be a very nice trick I haven't done before, so I'm going to make that one. Okay, so I'm going to start doing that. I know I'm going to remove the rest that I don't need it, but I think this will be the easiest thing that we can do. Okay, so I don't have to give it any length because the extra are not going to be anything. I'm going to cut anything. So the best thing to do is I'm going to just make a line from here down to here. Okay, now I've got the thing. Now what I need to do is I'm going to just simply cut the whole thing here. Everything that I don't need, I'm going to cut it now, including these two lines. Okay, so now definitely the width is for me should be 4. So I'm going to click on that line. I'm going to make it as 4 millimeters because that's what the drawings asked me to do. Oh, I think that I went in the wrong direction. Okay, so I'm going to do that just before I'm going to remove the lines. Okay, so yep. So now I'm going to change that to 4. Now I'll tell you why I did that, because this one has been shifted up. So I'm going to make that as 4. Now it's went up with both sides. Okay, then I'm going to sketch that line and continue with just removing the part that we don't need. Okay, so now I'm going to just cut the things that I don't need. Okay, now I can cut and then make it a fillet. Just remember that this should be always 11. So what we can do is that if 11, that means the radius is 2. Okay, so again, I'll do it too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just make a fillet here. No, I'm going to make a fillet. It's much easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extrude cut that and take it down with, oh wait a second, there we still have something here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I can do that now. I can simply make a circular pattern for that part. Okay, so that's the problem. We have to select every single line that we have there. Okay, so you can see that we divided things into 4. We have actually 6 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that to another 2. That's 2, that's 5. Okay, done. Now that will be easy. Just cut that part, extrude cut. And we're going to have it cut. Okay, now we have this shape. Okay, now remember once again that what we need to do is I need to change that to a fillet, so I can simply do that. Okay, so go to the fillet and we can select the fillet we would like to have. It's not 10 definitely, it's going to be 2.5 for me. So I'll put here 2.5 for the radius. Okay, now I'm going to start select the edges, and this will give me 2.5. That's not 2.5. I need to be 2 in that case. 2. Okay, because mine is 4. Yours is different. Now that will make it great. Okay, so just cut that. Sorry, select that. Okay, to make the fillets for all the edges. Okay, because we're going to add pin on the other side, and we don't want it actually to be something like a sharp, cute 90-degree edges. That will make it not nice. Okay, so okay, now this one is done, this one is done, and this one is done. I'll say okay. Well, we almost have the same disc. Now what we're missing is these parts here, if you remember. Now again, I'm going to bring the drawings to here. Okay, now we just cut it these sides. Now we need to cut these sides, so I'm going to do it the same way. Now let's see what the dimensions we've been given at. Okay, so we've been given that the center of the point here, where the radius is going to be 10, is have a 30 degree from the linear center. Okay, so from the horizontal center. Wait a second. There's something here says 25. Wait a second. Oh, yeah. This one is 25. Now this one is obviously is 10. 10 with 30 millimeters. Now let's see how we can do that. Distance to, oh, wait a second. The center to the distance of that is 28.67. So, wait a second. So what is the radius of this one? Let me check that again. Maybe I'm just missing something here. Zoom in. Where am I? Okay, so okay, we did that. That's correct. It's 4. That's correct. Oh, wait a second. That's 25, and this is 28. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, now that will be actually a good thing because I'm going to share this part with you. You only have to change some of the dimension. And now let's see how we're going to change these dimensions. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this part, click on that. Okay, and I'm going to change the radius to 25 millimeters. 25. Okay. Now I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to exit the sketch. Now it's done. And what I'm going to check now is that the distance from the center to the end here is going to be 25. So usually I click on that face. And we're going to sketch. And let me check. Just I like the line. I don't like to have the things. Okay, now it's 11. 11.1. It doesn't matter. It's 11. Okay, so now that's done. Now what I'm going to do is a line from here going by 30 degree. And then I'm going to sketch the radius of 10 millimeters. And to do that, what we're going to do is I'm going to use the line that should be the not a part of the work, so it's going to be a construction line. I'm going to sketch a line randomly. Okay, and I'm going to make 2 changes on it. The first one is going to be that the distance here should be the 28.8675. So 28.675 millimeters. That's its length. Now the other parameter I can change here is going to be the angle, which is going to be 30 degree. So I'm going to make it at 30 degree. And now, boom, it's done. Okay, now the other thing we need to do is we're going to make an arc that has a radius of 10 millimeters. So we come to this center, and I'm going to start to make, let's make it a circle. Doesn't matter, okay? Because the circle is going to be much easier to change the radius, because this one may change the length of this line, and it's not going to be a wise move. So just make a circle that has a radius of the 10 millimeters. Click on that, change that to 10. And we're done. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing exactly like what I've done earlier. I know this is not the easiest way maybe, but this is shortest cut we have. So again, to make the circular pattern for this one, it's 5 again. Okay, no, actually we have 1, 2, oh sorry, we said it's 6. So we're going to have 6 circles. Now let's do it in position, and we say okay. Now we have these things. I'm going to do the same thing of the extrude cut, get into the other side, and we have the shape done. Wow, this looks nice. Okay, so now I'm going to make saving of the shape, then we're going to start to do the other parameters. One of the parameters we have, well, each one is going to be on different face. We're going to have this cylindrical shape. It seems to be hollow, so we're going to have, oh no, sorry, that's all. Okay, so we're going to have that part, and we have the 2 levels on the other side. Okay, so the height of this part is, so below we're going to have 3, then 2. 3 and 2. From the top we are going to have 2, 3, that's 5, 7. 7 minus 12, this will make it 5. So the height of this one is 5. And the height of the other side is 5, but distributed into 3 and 2. Okay, so we're going to work on that. Now let's see about the diameters we have. We have a 4 millimeter diameter. It seems that it has a fillet at the top. Okay, chamfer, sorry, I'm going to do that. The inner one is 4 millimeter. That's going all the way from both sides. And the other one is 8 millimeter for the big one. So let's do that now. And we're going to have just a small trick there. Okay, so let's go back once again. We're going to click on that face. Doesn't matter which face you're going to select to have the 2 levels and which one is going to be the 1 level. I'm going to sketch on that. We have the center. We're going to have on the center the radius of 2 to make it 4. Okay, that will be 4 for everyone. Okay, that will be 4 for everyone. I cannot see many things to be changed for you later, but the width of that. Okay, so that's what you're going to work on. Now, this one need to go 5 up and 5 below. Remember that thickness here is 2, so it's going to be 5 up and 7 below. And that's what we're going to work on. So we go to the features, we're going to do the extrude, and now it's 5 here, make it 5. And now I get to have direction 2. And direction 2, I'm going to make it 7. Okay, so here we are. Now it's 7 from below, 5 from the top. Now we can add that the chamfer we have here. So let's look about how we're going to get the chamfering here. It should be somewhere here. So we have the fillet and we have the chamfer. Click on the chamfer. Now I will put just 2 millimeters chamfer. 2. Okay. And we're going to click on this edge. Wait a second, I shouldn't do that. Just the edge. Wait a second. It's the dimension. 2 millimeters, 45 degree. Wait a second. I'm sure that there's something wrong. Let me see how it's going to look like. No, that's definitely not the chamfer I would like to have. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, wait a second. It's already 2, so we should get something very small. So again, to go to the fillet chamfer, and I'm going to choose something which is going to be very small, and maybe it's going to be just 0.25. Let's see how it's going to look like. Yes. Oh, wait a second, 0.25. Maybe if I'm going to change that going to do the work. So 0.25 for the chamfer. Tangential correlation, full preview. Yeah, now it's done. So do this one first, then you can do this one second. So now I will do it to the other side as well, because look, much easier to be done in one go rather than going back once again to do it. Okay, now we have the chamfer for this part. Now for this part, for the other side, we need to take something like 8mm diameter circle to the height of 3mm. So now I'm going to go to that side, I'm going to sketch. And the easiest way to do the work actually is going to be clicking on that edge, and then going to do something like the convert intensities. We make a circle, then again to do the offset intensities of this one. Now we know that the 8mm diameter, that means it's 4mm radius. The actual radius we have is 2, so we're only going to make this distance to be 2mm too. Okay, now it's okay. We're going to now do the features, take this one up, and we're going to do that by 3mm, and say okay. Okay, now we've done. Okay, so that's part number 1. So once again, just remember the only differences should be done between difference between each other is going to be the gap we have here. And if I'm going to give you this one, and you would like to make the changes, the easiest way is we did this extrude cut number 1. So if you're going to actually try to change the things, try to change the width here. But remember something, that you need to make the lines, you need to redo everything as I've done it and change the things if you want to remove that and bring it back later. Okay, so that's part number 1. I'm going to make another video for the part number 2 because I don't want the video to be too long.